right, so here we go. So I just have a few more things on where I was before Ben was even drafted. So me and Chris had these conversations, during this time as it was going on. Instead of Ben, I wanted Ingram. So, and I just thought, like, overall attitude and different things related to Ingram, I thought he would just be a better player overall. And then I grew Brandon Ingram, that's now with the currently with the Pelicans.
He started with the Lakers.
He was drafted by the Lakers, right? And so we did get Ben, and I grew to like Ben's game, but I also grew to see that he had great potential to develop the jump shot and everything else that the fans were complaining about to start with. And that just wasn't materializing. And I still personally don't understand what the problem was as far as why he really didn't come back and stuff or whatever. And so I'll open up the floor to you guys as far as, where were you guys prior to the draft, and like, were you paying attention to him when he came to the Sixers then? And then your insight on maybe what happened from then until leading into, before the draft and stuff.
Personally, with me, full disclosure, I'm a LSU fan, man. So I follow all LSU players still, basketball, football. And so I was on Ben, big time from the jump. I think he has, more talent, more skills than Ingram. And so, I just thought it was a great fit going to Philly, Philly being my hometown team growing up. Not my hometown, but my favorite team growing up. Even though I divorced him later on, but, I kind of just admired him with them from afar. And I just thought it was a good fit. And I thought he was going to be a great player once he get his shot, because everything else, he's a master of it. He can handle the ball, he can defend, he can run, he can jump, pass, everything you want a basketball player to do. He's got it. And actually in college, he had a good touch on his jump shot. He was really consistent on his little mid-range. And so, I was high on Ben. I just thought he needed to extend his range on his jumper. And I thought he would have been, all world.
Yeah. So real quick though, so what do you think happened with the jump shot? Like, why do you think it disappeared?
Well, you got a player, man. You got to realize that you're coming into the NBA, right? And you're in a rabid fan base. Philly fans are, I love the Philly basketball fans. I'll put it that way. The other fans in Philly, okay, whatever. But you're trying to develop your skill, and you're under a microscope, man. And everybody's got an opinion. They're measuring you, where you start, where they expect you to be. And so you're trying to get better in that fishbowl, man. That's a lot of pressure. And so I think that may have caused him to do a little clamming up, because they got these huge expectations on you, and you're not sure. They want you to show that market improvement. And so now it became, okay, we expect you to get there. You're not getting there as fast as we want you to get there. Till now we just want you to shoot. So it's like, I think it became like a mental hang up for him, man. So,
like G over here. I followed him in college at LSU. It was I'm a heavy college hoops fan, and I knew from the beginning, his senior year in high school, they had the promotions for him, and I knew that where the Sixers were in their process. So I knew they were going to be right around the bottom of the lottery or the top of the lottery, however you want to look at it. And I'm like, all right, well, get this kid Ben Simmons. You automatically think Magic Johnson. You see the size, you see the handle, you see that potential, and you got Embiid already. So I'm like, you always see Magic Kareem. You see those, and that's kind of what I envisioned for him. But I think now, once that whole thing, to your point about the jump shot, in college, he, as you said, G, all world. Like this dude, I mean, he's 20 and 10 basically in college. It was like 19.9 and then 12 rebounds, I think, something right around there. He was right there, and it's like you think that would translate to the NBA, but I think now in retrospect, we're seeing now what he was already dealing with his first year, as G alluded to, that pressure. I never would have thought that then, that's what it was, why he wouldn't develop that jump shot. But as I see now, I'm thinking G's hitting the nail right on the head. Like, oh, he just wasn't mentally tough enough even then to be able to meet the expectations of what he was expected to be. And I'm starting to see it now. I think this was always him.
Right.
But he was getting away with his natural God-given ability. And then the work he put in, he put work in. But for whatever reason, he couldn't get through that mental. Everything else came easy to him.
Yeah.
Like he used his size and his speed and all of his ability to get by all them years. But now you're going against men, like grown men. And at this league, you have to be able to do a little bit of shooting. And if you're not, you're going to have to compensate that. And he wasn't willing to compensate with the aggressiveness that he needed to be on a consistent basis. And with the way he was playing, if you're not going to be aggressive all the time, you need to have that jump shot. With your size and ability, you got to be able to do that. That's going to help the team. And the fact that he never developed it, I'm thinking a lot of it has to do with what we see in him right now, the whole mental part of it. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah, and think about it. You say, look, he was living off his God-given talent. And look where they got him, though. I mean, he just read the numbers, bro, 170 mil. So now you got this guy, making 170 mil, doing what he do, at the level that he's on. And so you got to realize, too, basketball is not really necessarily in everybody's heart like it is, like if you look at an AI or LeBron or Michael Jordan, these dudes, they're going to get better just to get better just because they want to dominate you, man, So, with this guy, he's got the size, he got the skill, he can hoop, he can defend. You're like, I'm going to take this and ride this out.
Yeah.
What he should have been doing was saying, I want to be LeBron.
Yeah.
I think that was his ceiling.
Yep. I agree.
Instead of saying, I want to be LeBron, he's like, this.
I want to be Ben.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think he still has it too. He's got the potential, but what he doesn't have, I'm confident in saying he don't have the love for it. He can say it all he wants to. The game I love, I was hard being away from the game I love. I saw him say that last week in an interview. I was hard being away from the game I love and doing what I do. No, if you really had the love for it, the way that I think a player of his caliber should have the love for it, you would have been playing.
And Sean, isn't that what I told you, Sean? Remember a conversation where I was like, so he's playing basketball because he's good at it, because he has the size and the skill and the ability to do it, and it pays millions of dollars. That's why he's doing it. He's not doing it because he's living and dying basketball.
Absolutely.